Hey everyone, Henry here with Wireman Custom Lures. Today I'm going to show you how to Flashabou skirt a lure. We're going to be skirting up a Koya 12-inch AK bullet, and for the Flashabou material that we like to use, we use the Tantrum Strobez. This material I think is a lot better quality than the Hedron Flashabou. The colors are a lot better in it, and I think it just looks a lot better in the water. And also it's not as tinselly, so it doesn't create as many bird's nests as the Hedron does. Especially if you got loads of seaweed around, especially here on the East Coast, the Tantrum Strobez don't pick up anywhere near as much weed as the Hedron does. So we're going to be doing the dark blue over the light blue. So with a 12-inch size lure, you're going to use 2 packs of the Tantrum Strobez on each saddle. On some smaller lures, you're not going to need a full 2 packs, maybe like a pack and a half, but for this, you're going to need 2. So for the materials you need 4 packs of strobes, the lure obviously, some super glue, some rubber bands. I get these rubber bands at Target. They're a pretty heavy duty small rubber band that fits around the neck of the saddle really well, and that'll basically hold all the material onto the head before you tie it on. And then some scissors and some wax floss. All right, so starting off, so we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna do the light blue pack first on the inner saddle. So with the Tantrum Strobez, they come with a little zip tie at the top. So I like to move the zip tie up a little bit closer to the top. So I don't know, maybe like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch from the top. And that way you can increase the length of the material as much as possible, because I'm going to have this zip tie right at the bottom of the saddle. So you're going to take one of your rubber bands, and then you're going to put on 1 pack. And if you got some like excess material, just pull that out. It's all fine. And see how I got the zip tie right underneath this bottom saddle. And then you're gonna get the other pack and put it on the opposite side of the lure. That way when you go to actually spread it around the lure, it's all even all the way around. So now you've got everything all evened out. The Flashabou material is even on both sides, so you're not going to have different lengths. You're going to take the zip ties off. They slide right off really easily. And then with the Tantrum Strobez, I like to put the lure actually on the table. I'll probably spin this around so it's easier for you guys to see. But I put it on the table. If you hold it up like this or like that, the material's going to fall out really easily with the rubber band. So I like to just keep it on the table while I'm spreading it around. That way there's no weight of the strobes trying to get out of the rubber band, if that makes sense. So spread each pack evenly around. And the key is, if you want to get really good a really good seam from the lure head to the skirt, you really need to spread the fibers around evenly, and that way the lure is going to run the best way possible as well. So take your time with this. Make sure, look above. You can see that right here there's more material here, so I'll just spread that around a little bit more. Yeah, so almost done here. All right, so now that's ready to go. That's all spread around as good how I like it. So as you can see right there, it's pretty good. So Now you're going to take your wax floss, just place the tag end like on the side of the lure, and then under your thumb, and then wrap around your thumb one time, and then you're going to start wrapping around the saddle. So the trick with this is you want to wrap really tight from the beginning. And what I do is I wrap around as close to the top of the neck of the saddle as possible. So that way, when I go to tighten it every time, you can see that the floss is actually sliding down, and that's going to create a better grip on the Flashabou material. So when I go around, do it tight to the other saddle, and that way you get an even amount of wax floss going around the head. And I'll do this about 10 times or so. By doing this method, you're getting it all like even layered, so you're not going to have any bulging wax floss. Alright, now that's done, you're going to trim off your wax floss. And then you're going to slide that piece that you just cut off through the loop you made at the beginning. And cinch it up by pulling the tag end. And then that way, and then just pull both tag ends together, move them up and down a bit, and then they'll cinch down together. And you don't need a knot on this, it'll stay super tight, and it won't come undone, so unless you pull one of the tag ends hard. So that way you avoid any kind of bulging with a knot underneath. So what I like to do now, since this is going to have actually have a rubber stopper on it later on, I'm going to just trim off the tag end, trim off the excess material really quick. As you can see, that's all ready to go now. That way you won't get any Flashabou material stopping the stopper from going on the back of the lure when you glue it. So now flip your skirts back over. As you can see, it's kind of like an umbrella right now. And now we're gonna tie wax floss on the top to make it all seamless and smooth and all flat. So you're gonna take the lure, grab the skirt material right at the top, then come down just past the saddle, because I've got the saddle ends like right here. I'm holding it tight right there. And if you need to, if the Flashabou material's all static and it's coming up here, just put a rubber band around it. So now with this, now I've got all the Strobez material all tight to the lure head. I'm gonna just grip the tag end of the wax floss right under my thumb, and then I'm gonna wrap 1, 2, 3. And again, I'm starting here and I'm working my way inwards. That way I've got an even amount of wax floss all throughout the Flashabou. And make sure you're doing it tight every single time. Maybe do 2 wraps and then pull tight again. Now that's all done, I like to do 2 overhand knots. So just take the 2 pieces of floss together, create a loop, and then pull the tag ends down. Pull it tight, and then again another knot, and then cinch the tag end down, or cinch the knot down, sorry. And then I like to cut off, just leave a small tag end on the knot, so it should look like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna finish that off with a dab of super glue. That way, with when it's in the water, the knot won't come undone. Because if you don't super glue it, that knot will come undone, and then your Flashabou just becomes a giant umbrella mess. And then just squeeze the tag end, and then that way it will dry quicker, and now it's not going to come undone. So that's the bottom layer. And if you had a rubber band, just remove it from the Flashabou material. But as you can see, that's all perfect all the way around. Now for the next, for the outer saddle. And you're just going to repeat the same process you did the first time. So you're going to pull the zip tie up to the top, leaving about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch there. And I'll take one of your rubber bands. And as you can see how it's all getting staticky? We'll just solve that issue by just putting a rubber band on that. That way this material stays out of the way. So again, just put both of the packs on. Make sure they're even, where the end of the Strobez material is the same length. And then you can take those 2 zip ties off the material. Hi, what's going on? And then spread each pack around evenly. And again, keep it on the table, that way you won't lose a bunch of material, especially on like a smaller lure head where there's only so small of a rubber band you can get easily. The material will fall out, so just keep it on the table when you're spreading it around. And as you can see, that's pretty much even all the way around. I'm going to just do a little bit more adjustment over here. Alright, so now that's ready to go. So you move the rubber band down a bit to make space for the wax floss, but it's going to be the same process. Get the tag end underneath your thumb, and then wrap around your thumb, and then start wrapping tight to the lure head. Take 2 or 3 wraps, cinch it tight, and then just keep going as close as, keep it flush to the side of the lure head, or to the top of the lure saddle. That way you'll get a nice even layer of wax floss on the Flashabou material. So that should be good enough now, so just cut it off again. Get some of this material out of the way. So you're going to pull that piece that you just cut off, you're going to pull it through the loop that you made at the beginning, and then grab your tag end and cinch it up. And I'll take both tag ends, wrap it around your finger, and then slide it up and down until you feel it cinch up together, and that way it won't come undone. Now I'll take the rubber band off, and now we're ready to start the last bit of process. So as you can see, it's a big umbrella again, so we need to tighten that all down. That's my little girl in the background. Are you playing with some lures, Ari? Are you playing with lures? Alright, so Yeah, if you want to keep the material out of the way when you're doing this for the outside saddle, I recommend just putting a rubber band over it. That way you don't have it all coming back on you when you're trying to wrap the wax floss around the head. But now you got it all tight together like that. Let's wrap around the head, 1, 2, 3. Pull it tight. And if you find that you think that the skirt is bulging a bit, you can always just re-grip it and pull that section down, and that way you won't get a big bulge in the Flashabou material. Because with the Flashabou, you want it to be as even as possible around the lure head. Now that's all done, just cut it off and get your 2 pieces of wax floss and put them together and tie a loop in it, and then cinch that down. 1, 2. Cinch it up, and then if you got excess wax at the bottom where you've cinched the knot together, just remove that real quick. And then again, leave a little bit of a tag end. And then get your glue. Make sure that glue dries. And then when you go and take the rubber band off, we'll do some trimming real quick at the tag end, because as you can see, the light blue is coming through way further down than the dark blue, so we'll just trim that off real quick. Now you have a perfectly Flashabou skirted lure ready to go and fish. The Flashabou works really amazingly. It's much more popular in Hawaii, but best way to rig one of these lures with Flashabou, I do not recommend doing any angled face lure with Flashabou. That'll just create a mess on it. Run it on a bullet or a jetted bullet, and then run a single hook in it with the point of the hook just sticking out past the Flashabou material. That way the hook won't get wrapped up around the Flashabou material, and also you won't get anywhere near as many tangles as well. So that is how to skirt up a bullet with the Tantrum Strobez. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or just leave a comment down in the comment section below, and please like and subscribe. Thank you guys.